afternoon, guys. My name is John Pajowski. I'm the Director of School Security for the Jackson Township School District. I'm here standing in front of the new Jackson Township High School. And for you, the new incoming seniors, we're going to walk through, go over the new traffic pattern for you guys when we come in September, so you can safely drive around the school park in the student parking lot. So now we're going to drive around the school to show you the new signage and walk you through on where to drive and park safely. And here we go. Major change that you'll notice is the back road behind Liberty is now one way to the left. This applies to both students and teachers. So if you enter the school on either entrance off of Hope Chapel on your way to the student parking lot, you must turn left. Here's what it'll look like as you enter the more eastern entrance off of North Hope Chapel Road. You turn into the school, continue down the road, and then turn left. If entering from the more western entrance of North Hope Chapel Road, you turn into the school, head down the road, and you also turn left. If entering the rear of the school off of East Veterans Highway, turn left into the school and follow the road around. Note, you cannot make a right turn where we previously could. That road is now do not enter and one way only coming out. After entering the school from any of those three entrances, you'll now notice begin one-way signs. That's where the road begins to be one-way only.
Yeah, except give me.
If entering the student lot, stay to the left-hand side of the road and then turn left into the student lot. One note, when exiting the student lot at the end of the day, make sure you turn left. It is a do not enter to the right. Once turning left, follow the road around the back of the school towards the exit. If doing a student drop-off with your parent, once you pass the begin one-way signs, stay on the right-hand side of the road and head to student drop-off, which is door 16. Again, follow around the back of the school to the right and continue down the road, park your car on the right-hand side, and your student will enter at door 16. Once dropping your student off, or after leaving the student lot at the end of the day, the road at the end now is 2 lanes. Stay in the left lane to turn left, and stay in the right lane to turn right. If you keep in mind this new route of one way towards the back of the school, navigating the new traffic pattern should be simple. Should you have any questions, reach out to John Pajowski, District Security Director, or Robert Waldron, Vice Principal in charge of parking at Jackson Township High School. I'm here standing in front of the new Jackson Township High School, and for you, the new incoming seniors, we're going to walk through, go over the new traffic pattern for you guys when you come in September, so you can safely drive around the school and park in the parking lot. So now we're going to drive around the school to show you the new signage and walk you through on where to drive and park safely, and here we go. The major change that you'll notice is the back road behind Liberty is now one way to the left. This applies to both students and teachers. So if you enter the school on either entrance off of Hope Chapel on your way to the student parking lot, you must turn left. Here's what it'll look like as you enter the more eastern entrance off of North Hope Chapel Road. You turn into the school, continue down the road, and then turn left. If entering from the more western entrance of North Hope Chapel Road, you turn into the school, head down the road, and you also turn left. If entering the rear of the school, or East Veterans Highway, turn left into the school, and follow the road around. Note, you cannot make a right turn where we previously could. That road is now do not enter and one way only coming out. After entering the school from any of those three entrances, you'll now notice begin one-way sign. That's where the road begins to be one-way only. If entering the student lot, stay to the left-hand side of the road and then turn left into the student lot. One note, when exiting the student lot at the end of the day, make sure you turn left. It is a do not enter to the right. Once turning left, follow the road around the back of the school towards the exit. If doing the student drop-off with your parent, once you pass the begin one-way signs, stay on the right-hand side of the road and head to student drop-off, which is door 16. Again, follow around the back of the school to the right and continue down the road. Park your car on the right-hand side, and your student will enter at door 16. Once dropping your student off, or after leaving the student lot at the end of the day, the road at the end now is 2 lanes. Stay in the left lane to turn left, and stay in the right lane to turn right. If you keep in mind this new route of one way towards the back of the school, navigating the new traffic pattern should be simple. Should you have any questions, reach out to John Pajowski, District Security Director, or Robert Waldron, Vice Principal in charge of parking at Jackson Township High School.
Anybody new comes in, I'll play. I'm sending you a text. I just had Bridget send me your contact. I realized when I was trying to reach her that I don't know or something.
On my fantasy football podcast.
much of the laundry. As long as the laundry's done, it should be fine. How far is it? Tell me it wasn't like, I just, did you watch Modern Family? There's a scene in Modern Family. Where he talks about like you have this little baby and you never mourn the kids that you're losing because the place that you live there until one day. I was like, no. Wow. Hi there. You didn't bring your laptop? I'm in no place to mess with anybody. I forgot the agenda. We're all set. You want to quit for yourself? You want me to? Got it. We just showed your video. The traffic pattern video. If anybody new comes, I'll have to play it again. I gotta email that out this week. As Colleen and I are discovering, there's only after religion. There's nothing to be done before they're gonna have an event in it too, so maybe she does. I do, because I do know how to do it, but I don't because I don't want to hear it. But could you show me how to do it? I was looking and thinking about it.
Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meeting Law and has been duly advertised in the newspaper as an official meeting. Roll call.
Dr. Osmond, Mr. Walsh,
Here.
Mr. McCarron,
Present.
Mrs. Rivera,
Present.
Mrs. Barocas,
Present.
Mrs. Gardella,
Present.
Mrs. Cass.
Present. I need a motion for the approval of the agenda with addendums.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
I need to actually first just interject, Ms. Cass, I'm sorry. I'd like to administratively remove Personnel 32 from the agenda this evening. Thank you.
What about the case?
That's it.
Okay, so I need a motion for approval of the agenda with addendums.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes.
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I turn the meeting over to Mrs. Permilli for her superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Cass. So before I get into an update on how things are moving forward here in the district for opening of the schools in just a few weeks, we do have a few annual reports that happen every year this time of the year, so I would like to move forward with those presentations first, and then I'll give everybody an update after that. So this evening, I'd like to start with the annual school nursing report that Dr. Godleski, Assistant Superintendent, will be providing the Board of Education. So the presentation will be behind you. You'll need to turn around.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Each year, the New Jersey Department of Education requires all school districts to annually present the district nursing plan, focusing on staffing and levels of acuity within the buildings. Our school nurses have a great responsibility for every child in the Jackson School District, and nurses in every building are responsible for many things. They're responsible for the maintenance of all health records, mandatory reports, which are entered into a statewide database, the implementation of health plans, creation of health plans, the use of all life-saving equipment, as well as the coordination of health outreach and referrals. In addition, our nurses teach and certify staff members in all of our buildings on the usage of EpiPen and glucagon. So they're very busy in ensuring that our students are safe and healthy at school. This second slide shows the frequency of nursing visits for the past school year. So on the left-hand column, you'll see the school. The second column is the population of the school as of June 9th, is when these numbers were pulled. And then the number of nurse visits in 2024 and 2025, and the number of nurse visits last year. As our school has been undergoing restructuring, you'll notice that, some school populations went up a lot in the past year, so probably their nursing numbers went up as well. But some of our populations went down, maybe reducing our nursing visits a little bit. So you'll see some of them have a bigger discrepancy than others, but I just want you to consider the fact that we have restructured. And the total visits from the year prior was 89,952, so a little less. When we talk about acuity levels, the nursing report has 4 acuity levels presented with the intensity of nursing care needed to sustain the school population. So there's 4 levels of acuity, like I just mentioned, with level 1 being the most severe. In this first level of acuity, care is provided on a one-to-one basis. It's the most complex and dependent. The bullets on the left-hand side could give you a few examples of some of the conditions in which nursing-dependent care would be required. Level 2 is daily interaction, and skilled care, often with close home contact, and that's considered major nursing involvement. Acuity levels can include toileting or other personal care functions, and skilled nurses are essential for both of these levels. Levels 3 and 4, moderate nursing involvement and minor nursing involvement, have monitoring students occasionally when health issues arise, usually with regard to their comfort or function, could be prescribed medicine, having to respond to a seizure disorder, even if the child has no meds at school, concussions, mental or behavioral diagnosis that might require some health intervention from time to time. And level 4 is minor nursing. That's occasionally the student may require going to the nurse for a headache, first aid, minor illnesses, a temporary accommodation. So just to note that the vast majority of our school population falls into levels 3 or 4, or level 4 rather. So when we talk about that level of acuity, it's helpful to also see the number of students that fall into each of the different categories I just described. So nursing dependent, level 1 of acuity, these are the number of students that are characterized as that level of acuity in each of the schools. Level 2, same thing, the number of students that are characterized as that level of acuity in the second column, 3 and 4. As we get ready for a new school year, obviously the staffing of our nurse's office is incredibly important. And on this chart, we show our current nurses and floating nurses that are employed to support our staff and support the health of our students. So I won't read this side by side. We do have a personnel motion, so one of our TBDs we're hiring into, and we're actively seeking an additional nurse for Jackson Township High School. Some points of emphasis for 25-26. School nurses is definitely a high needs job. There's a critical shortage of school nurses, so we still have a need for full-time floating and substitute nurses to support our schools, and increased advertising for and hiring school nurses remains a priority. We've had a posting up almost all summer for a school nurse. We are responding to an increasing amount of medically complex students. The number of our nursing visits has not reduced in the same correlation as our population has reduced, because we are seeing more medically complex students, and that's a reality. We have our nurses to continue to satisfy our health-related trainings for staff members. Our nurses also can renew the CPR and first aid training. For our nurses get that every year. We also have an athletic trainer. We have 2 at the high school. So one of the athletic trainers can support athletic nursing needs, for instance, processing physicals, return to play protocol after a concussion. We worked last year and will continue to work this year to build capacity of our health offices by training additional staff to be certified CPR instructors. We have a lot of staff members, far more than just our nursing staff, that are required to be CPR certified. So that's a huge help to our capacity building when we have an in-house person or people who can provide this training for our staff. We want to always increase parental involvement in the area of wellness for our youngest learners. So we have a pre-K dedicated nurse who works on parent involvement nights for our pre-K population, and supporting student mental health concerns by having nurses play an active role in IEPs, 504s, INRS, and the school climate team. And that is all. Does the board have any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Godleski. Very informative. Good information. So also this evening, we have the second report period from January to June 2025 for our violence, vandalism, and HIB report, and also our self-assessment. reports that we do on HIB every year. We have our Director of Security, John Pajowski, here to present both those reports this evening. So again, the slides will be behind you. Please turn around.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight. So tonight's presentation is the semi-annual report. First one's going to be on harassment, intimidation, and bullying for report period 2, which runs from January through June of 2025. Our school district's commitment is to create a safe learning environment for all of our students, investigating all complaints of harassment, intimidation, and bullying, and preventing all acts of harassment, intimidation, and bullying as well. We're also committed to being proactive and prepared through behavioral threat assessments, training for staff, for teams, both district and school, understanding school violence training, district training for all schools and ABS on policies, procedures for addressing and reporting HIB, violence and vandalism, and substance use. Our anti-bullying coordinator and our anti-bullying specialist have meetings to review HIB policy data as well and investigation procedures. These are our ABSs at each specific school. Obviously, it's going to be updated as of September. They are responsible for HIB events and initiatives, prevention assemblies, focusing on explaining when it comes to bad behavior, classroom lessons, grade level activities, character education, all the different programs they have with that, social, emotional, character education, diversity and equity programs, both for parents and students for social, emotional evening and presentation of mindfulness, district-wide suicide prevention and education, and climate and culture meetings, surveys to strengthen the use of data to target our programs and approaches. All right, so we have the columns here from 2023, 2024 school year, and then 2024 to 2025 school year. These are at our elementary levels, and those are totals both for period 1 and 2 for both years respectively. This is our secondary, so it includes our middle schools and our high schools. Again, 2023-2024 school year, 2024-2025 school year, and both periods 1 and 2 respective for that years. Now, when it comes to HIB, there's different categories, classifications. The right column, demeaning, offensive text messages, name calling, offensive comments, mocking, teasing, taunting, and physical. Additional to that, there's motivations of founded HIBs. Those are the categories for that. Outcomes of all investigated HIB incidents, consequences and remedial measures, and then the location of founded HIBs, the different categories for that. These are our self-assessment grades that the ABSs conduct at the end of the school year. There's a bunch of questions for each category that they have to answer respectively, and then they give themselves a score. It calculates for themselves. The max score is 78, and these are our elementary schools, and those are their scores underneath the max of 78. Same thing, this is now for our secondary schools, so it's both our middle schools and our high schools from last year. Again, max score would be 78. There's their scores underneath that column. And then our district grade for this year was 72.25. Compared to last year was 73.2, which is a bit of a drop. However, they grade ourselves a little bit harder, but we are continuously making ourselves better to help our students, and we should see higher grades for next year for this score. When it comes to HIBs, there's complaints, and we investigate everything. The submission complaints are received in person, telephone, or email, or via links located in our district website HIB Form 338 provides a means for parents, guardians, or a school staff member to report an incident of HIB in a confidential manner 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And again, all HIB complaints are promptly investigated in accordance with the district policy 5512, for that's harassment, intimidation, and bullying students. That's it, we're done? Okay, take it.
Still have to do the violence vandalism report. Where are you going? You can't go anywhere yet.
We told him he was done.
All right, so the next report, report period 2 for our school district. It's for violence, vandalism, substance abuse, and weapons offenses that occur within the Jackson School District. Again, this is report period 2, January through June 2025. So this information, the state of New Jersey began collecting back in March of 2002. And the objective is to collect and report incidents data concerning serious students' misconducts in the areas of violence, vandalism, HIB, weapons, and substance abuse. So the chart to the right, it's consecutive for this report period 2, the previous report period 1, and then the previous school year's report period 2, and those are the numbers for the categories. This is for the elementary schools. So the categories are fights, assault, threats, sexual offenses, HIB alleged and confirmed. And again, this is for our elementary schools, and these are totals for these categories. This is for the secondary schools. That includes both our middle schools and high schools. Again, same categories, and these are the totals for those. This is for the vandalism and substance abuse. Again, report period 2. Again, it starts with the previous report period from the previous school year, report period 1 for this past school year, and then report period 2 for this past school year as well. These are substance abuse. So the categories that the state requires are marijuana, alcohol, prescription drugs, substance suspected and refused exam, and then that's under the influence, and then substance possession is marijuana, drug paraphernalia, and alcohol. There is undetermined, and that is where, unfortunately, whatever the student is suspected to be in possession, there is no category for that. So it's not like it was marijuana or alcohol, drug paraphernalia. So that's why we have an undetermined category. Again, if it doesn't fit in any of the 3, then it gets automatically put into the undetermined. These are weapons offenses, and this is for all schools. So weapon included any instrument readily capable of lethal use or of inflicting bodily injury, but the category is not limited to handguns, rifles, knives, clubs, chains, slingshots, leather bands studded with metal fillings, razor blades, stun guns, and any device that projects, releases, or emits tear gas or any other substance, i.e. pepper spray, and that is intended to produce temporary discomfort or permanent injury through being vaporized or otherwise dispensed in the air. So those are some of the examples of what a weapon is considered. So this category is action taken by the school district. The categories are police notified, no complaint filed. What that means is the police were called, however, they investigated without any type of formal complaint against the student. Police notified with complaint filed, that means the police handled the investigation and charged the student with something. In-school suspension and out-of-school suspension. Those are for the actions. And then the impacted students is the number of student offenders that were involved in all these incidents, and then the student victims. The student number, the student offenders is a tad bit higher because it could be an incident where there was one victim and two offenders, or three offenders, one victim, or two victims. So that's why the student offender number is a little bit higher. We will continue to strive to ensure a safe district and school environment by bringing school district safety teams and school anti-bullying specialists together to review data, using that data to plan programs and inform practices, approaches, and curriculum, building strong partnerships with the Jackson Police Department, specifically with our school resource officers, Police Officer Tom Conti and Police Officer Matt Colangelo, providing training for school administrators on the effective preparation and response to violence, vandalism, and substance use, educating all stakeholders on how they can make Jackson schools safer, and providing community events to educate parents, guardians about safe school. Any questions?
Did we change policy there? I see out-of-school suspensions
Yeah,
went
I
down
saw something.
significantly, and in-school suspensions skyrocketed.
Yes, so with that, to be more inclusive with students, obviously, to learn, you can learn better in school than it is out of school. To involve those students, just because they did something, they got suspended, maybe, having them in the building with talking to different people for whatever reasons, reduce that number.
We find that we can have remedial measures and education in school suspension versus out-of-school suspension. So when they're with us, we can educate them on better choices. So yes, we have changed our approach significantly on that.
It'll be interesting to see next year's data because the numbers went up, not just of out of school versus in school. Obviously, the in-school suspensions went up, but at the bottom when it talked about like how many people offended versus how many victims also went up. So it'd be interesting to see if it starts to go back down.
Can you just go over, just like for the public, what a behavioral threat assessment training, like what it entails?
So with that, I do have a little bit of experience with that, being a school resource officer for over 20 years. So with that behavioral threat assessment, you have information provided, whether through the school or through somebody else that comes to the school, where a student might be presenting, maybe they want to harm others or someone, or themselves for that matter. And there's a team of employees specifically trained for this to, one, look at the student's history, to include like exterior, like at home, environmental issues, and also to talk to the student specifically and also other teachers to get a good picture to see the different levels of whether it's a threat or not. And then if it does meet that criteria, there's a whole different process after that to then obviously to get the kid help to prevent something to others and also for themselves too.
Thank you so much for the presentations this evening. Okay, so moving on with the superintendent's report, just providing some updates of where we're at in the district. So recently, the extended school year and the child care camp have successfully wrapped up their summer programs. And thank you to the staff who facilitated and worked those programs for our students. They were very successful. And students not only were learning, but having a good time too. So as you can imagine, it's been a very busy summer for us. It's hard to believe we are welcoming staff and students back in just 2 weeks. really has gone quickly, and we've had a tremendous amount of work and tasks on our plate this summer with the restructuring. We had to prioritize our tasks in restructuring the district. 2 months, like I said, is a short period of time to make such large-scale changes. The priority this summer has really been to ensure that our classrooms, our office spaces, that they have everything that they need. With over 450 transfers of staff and teachers, we need to make sure that desks were in the rooms and in the offices, phones were all aligned, as you can imagine, all of those phones that need to change. And thank you for being patient with us if you've tried to reach us, and we've had to bump you a few times over to a couple of different phones. It's been a challenge. Making sure that people have the right keys for their spaces, and that all their spaces are cleaned, and that the boxes arrive that have been packed in the right spaces. So that has been the priority. And the people and the folks who have been doing all of this work it's just phenomenal what they have pulled off. The classrooms are clean. The boxes, for the most part, have arrived into the rooms and ready for unpacking. And already we have seen staff come in when we're ready for them, volunteering their time and creating these welcoming spaces for our students. Our schools have some of our schools have new names, and they're receiving updated marquee signs to identify the school by the correct name. You may have seen some of the slides. If you were here before we walked in the room that Ms. Irwin had put up, board members, you might want to turn around. They're on the screens right now. These are the ones that we are waiting to arrive any day now for installation, so that we are ready for the opening of school. So all of those signs will be changed. We will be working hard on making sure that students feel welcomed as they come into these new buildings. And although we have signs changing, please note that we still will have the names of our original names of our schools on those buildings because we want to honor the history of those schools. But at the same time, we are also working on a new history and legacy for our new schools. We are starting to form right now some small committees and beginning to make some of that work begin. It's real important to us that we honor the history but also build forward. And we want to make sure that we do it with a lot of thought and a lot of input. So we'll be forming committees, some small committees, and making decisions about what should stay with the schools, what should be moving to the new locations. And those committees will be made up of staff, parents, and administrators. So more information. It will be a year process for us to ensure that we make the transition of all of those things thoughtfully and with input. So please be patient with us. I'd just like to point out an example of some of the work that some of the parents and the leaders have done for Unity and making some of those decisions already. I'm going to use the band as an example here. The band leaders and the parent groups have been working well together. They've made a plan to take the most recent awards and trophies that Memorial Band has earned, and they are all going to line up. But in the music space is a massive wall, as you can imagine. On one wall, up high, all those trophies will sit. On the other wall, all the Liberty recent ones will sit, and then there is a wall that connects the two with the shelf where everything that they earned together as one band will sit. And so they've done a lot of things like that to bring Unity together. One band, one sound is their motto. Just really some wonderful things that they're doing to honor history and legacy and create new. And that's how we want to move forward, but we want to be very thoughtful in that process throughout this year with those decisions. So again, busy, busy, busy. The admin teams and staff have been working on student schedules, and our transportation team is, you can imagine, diligently working to finalize a lot of bus routes. All of those things will be published soon. Check our website for the dates that schedules will be released on the portal and bus passes. And we're also moving forward next week, believe it or not, with orientations and open houses in our schools as well. So again, check the website. Again, some of the slides behind me do cite those dates and times of those events happening. So please check the website. As a reminder for anybody who perhaps is listening who has moved, if you have not contacted our registrar's office, please do. There is a process when you move to remove your students from the district, receive, if you need information, to be sent to the new school. Otherwise, you still sit on our rosters until we deem that you really are not here anymore, and that usually takes us at least a month or two to figure, to get to that final decision. So it's helpful for us and helpful for you if your child's moving to a new school. Please unenroll your student. And if you have been listening, and hopefully if you're listening, you are registered, but please make sure that you've registered too. We want our students to start on the first day of school. So if you know anybody who's moved, who's here new, encourage them to register, please. On tonight's agenda, you will see a resolution for the board to approve on the sale of McAuliffe School. Once that is approved this evening, we will be able to go out to bid for that school. We did have a ceremony recognizing the strong history of that school. If you missed it, we did there talk about, again, the traditions and honoring everything that has, and memorializing the things that have occurred in that school. And so I just want to repeat that we will be doing that with McAuliffe things such as there is a quilt there that was put together that was signed by astronauts. Obviously, that's not going to be sold with the school. We're moving that. That will come over to the board office. So those kinds of things are being decided now, but the school will be out for bid very soon. We are on a different note, we are in the midst of some other change on transitioning to a new system for our board meeting agendas and how we put those agendas together and how the public will see those agendas as well. Many districts use this system. It's called Board Docs. We are in the process of transitioning to that, and for our September meeting, for the public, when you go on to the link, you will see then a link to Board Docs and be able to see the agenda. It'll look a little bit different, the format will look a little bit different, but it's all the same information. It's just helping us be a little bit more paperless and helping us to create the agenda a little bit more smoothly. So on one final note tonight, and I did mention this a little bit earlier in my report, just the tremendous amount of work that has happened. I can't say it enough, and every time, right, I get to see you or our directors or our supervisors in facilities and grounds and maintenance, I thank them. I thank the administrative teams in the buildings right now, supervisors, everybody who has just been hands-on, rolling their sleeves up and making sure that we are ready for opening. I'm just truly impressed with the people here, and I know I say it all the time, but I really seriously see it this summer. It's incredible. What has been done. Things that would take another district a full year, 6 months to do, we're doing in 2 months. And so I'm really, really proud of our team, and I just needed to thank them again and say how impressed we are with you. So teachers, like I said, are starting to show up at school. Their administrators are letting them know when they're ready, and we're seeing classrooms be set up, and we're moving forward together. Building One Jackson School District Uniting for Excellence, and it's going to be a good year. So with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you. Standing committee reports. Buildings and Grounds, Mr. McCarron?
Yes, Buildings and Grounds met on August 11th. People in attendance were myself, Ms. Cass, Ms. Rivera, the administration team, and architects. We received updates on building moves and readiness for opening of schools. We received an update on closure and sale of the McAuliffe School, updates on local government energy audit for the school district, and also discussed the possible bond referendum of facilities master planning, and discussed 2 possible funding scenarios of referendum or county improvement authority. Some capital improvement projects district-wide, Jackson Township 5-6, electrical work was completed on the new chiller for 200 wing. Old home economics room renovated into new CST offices for September. Main water recirculation pump was removed, repaired, and reinstalled. At Elms, electrical repair made to main transformer, awaiting quote from Modern Generator for rebuild. Jackson Township Middle School, room 404, the meeting room, removed all electrical poles and replaced floor tiles. Johnson School had roof drain redirected by plumber to divert the water from handicap ramps for safety. Switlick School, room 7, electric heat element replaced for the HVAC system. The HVAC unit metal filter screens were cleaned and had summer maintenance. Exterior hose spigots were installed at door 30 by a plumber, and trailer area restoration was all completed. Jackson Township High School, 4 HVAC unit coils were cleaned for summer maintenance. New parking lot cut out for bus entrance and staff parking. And C kitchen, new walk-in fridge, new compressor, and evaporator were installed. Crawford School, the fire system placed in new Crawford walk-in. And district-wide, all generators filled with diesel fuel for school start, and all elevators were inspected for service. Annual fire inspections completed by KenCore. Elevator and fire securities were all ready for September start. Thank you.
Thank you. Ad hoc committees, policy report. There was a meeting on August 13th, and in attendance was Mrs. Pormilli, Dr. Godletsky, Mrs. Barocas, Mr. McCarron, and Mrs. Gardella. Regulation 9191, booster clubs, they made a revision to eliminate a max amount for the carryover, which is on tonight's agenda. Policy 5111, eligibility of resident, non-resident students. It was discussed and will continue to draft revisions. And policy 235, which is the acceptable use of generative artificial intelligence, otherwise known as AI. First reading is on tonight's agenda. Anything for advocacy? Nothing, right? Okay. I need a motion for approval of regulation adoption.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion for approval of the minutes. Closed session meeting July 16th, 2025, and the official board meeting July 16th, 2025, business meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Walsh?
Abstain.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion for approval of the bill list.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion?
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion for approval of treasurers and board secretaries' reports.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Mr. McCarron?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera?
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas?
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella?
Yes.
Mrs. Cass?
Yes. I need a motion to open the public forum on agenda items only. We will hold another public forum during this meeting for other questions. This public forum will be for questions on the agenda only.
Motion. Second.
Second.
Please sign in and state your name and whether or not you are a Jackson resident. Each person is allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. No person may speak more than once on the topic until all others have been heard. Seeing no one come forward, I need a motion to close public forum.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, that one doesn't say second. Okay, second.
Second.
Okay. You have to do a roll call?
No.
All in favor? Aye. I need a motion to move finance.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
I had a couple questions. On finance number 4, which declares items as surplus, I was just wondering if there is something that we're going to be doing with these items once we declare them as surplus?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this sounds off tonight. So if I get the surplus, I understand item 4, right?
Item 4 has the surplus listed as, and I'm wondering, like, what, are we doing anything with it once we are tonight approving this as surplus? Like, is it going to go to Gov Deals? Is it out for auction? Does it go to the scrapyard? Like, what happens?
Yeah, because it has no value, it's not going to Gov Deals.
Have any VHSs?
Everything's for sale on eBay. Sorry, number 8, and 9, there are 2 items where we did sell stuff on Gov Deals, and I was wondering if those items are earmarked or if you know what you're going to be putting them towards.
I want to make sure I heard your question correctly. You're asking what the money will be used for when we...
Yeah, I was wondering
Yes.
if it's earmarked for something.
Yes, so we are using that money to help offset some of our signage. Those things were not budgeted for in our budget, so any kinds of banners, the flags that are going to be at the high school that hang on the poles, we're using some of that money for that. Towards students, it goes right back to the student stuff.
Great, thank you. Sorry to ask these questions, but number 10, there's a lot of transfers that were carryover funds. Do they go right back into the same grant fund categories to be used with those title funds again? And meaning it's Title I and Title 4 or 5 funds?
Title 1 through 4.
Yeah, they go back to that same program for the following year? So if like you're transferring $10,653.20 back to the same account, is that like has to be used for that same program?
It does.
Okay.
So this is covering expenses, as you can imagine, when you have to first set your plan in the beginning of the school year for the use of this money in our online systems for the state, changes can happen throughout the school year, so the money either something doesn't cost as much, and then it's cheaper, and then we have to transfer money, so then we can put it to another account to spend that money. So that's how those transfers occur for those reasons. Like if there's a change somehow, and we need to transfer that money so that we can spend it, because the important part of this grant is that you spend all of that money.
But it's not like in the general fund, it has to be towards that grant program, correct?
Yep, from one grant fund to another grant fund, not general budget.
All right, number 12 through 26, we did all these resolutions with max amounts that we're approving, and I just want you to clarify, I think I know the answer, but I'm just asking you to publicly clarify, when we put these max amounts with these vendors, what the purpose is?
That's right. So when we approve like a co-op or a vendor, we approve an up to, not to exceed amount. And then it doesn't mean we're going to spend that much money with that vendor. It just puts our own little threshold onto that. And then if we're going to exceed that, then we have to come back to the board and ask for an increase in the max amount.
I'm almost done. And then number 27, I had a question. We're moving the Memorial Athletics and the Fee McAuliffe account name, and we're moving the balance transfer to the general fund. In the other areas, we moved it to like the high school and the middle school or the 5-6 building. What was the difference on those 2 top ones that they didn't get moved to the high school?
Yeah, so the ones that are coming back to the general fund are the participation fees that the district has for athletics, and then there's also fees related to participation fees at McAuliffe. So that's why it's coming back to the general, because it's not a school-based account. It says for Memorial Athletics, but it's athletic participation fee that comes back to the district.
To be used towards students?
It comes back to the general fund, and then the entire general fund goes to students. So,
Never mind, then I'm done. I moved on accident on my. Sorry, that was my last question.
I have a question about number 6, carryover there. Is that from last year going to be put in this year's budget for the preschool? Or did that go back to the state?
This is an adjustment to the submission of our preschool grant. Oh, this is including our carryover. This was an adjustment. So originally, the carryover money, the state took that from us. We petitioned the state and appealed it and won it. So this is the money back to us that they originally took out that was carryover.
This is a plus for us then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, on number 12, there was some verbiage there. We don't have to go out to bid for something according to that resolution? Provides the Board of Education without advertising for bids? Thought we had to put
That's
it,
because if you're using a state contract, that's a general resolution regarding use of a state contract.
okay, so if we're pulling it off of a state contract, we don't have to advertise for a bid?
That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I have a couple of things myself. So I always told you that I would give you our negative lunch balance for the school, and it is currently $129,606.38, so we're still hovering there. But in addition, what I really want to highlight, so that's $129,000. We've been mandated, as everybody knows, by the state. We have a state monitor. There's not one sitting there tonight. We're actually getting a new one. However, Carol Morris, just so you know, was paid from February of '24 to May of '25, $109,000, $109,400. Okay, so the second monitor that we just had that is no longer with us was paid $35,536.25 from June of 2025 to August 7th of 2025. So I want to highlight that for a couple of reasons. A step one teacher makes roughly $59,000 a year. He made $35,000 in 2 months, and this is mandated by the state. He worked 4 days a week. He worked double our previous state monitor, and in addition, we also had to pay partial of his cell phone and his travel expenses to and from Trenton. I also want to highlight that the state monitors make more per hour than our superintendent. So I find that a gross misconduct by the state. So as of tonight, the board is actively discussing recouping at least half of what was paid to the last state monitor because it was an absurd amount. So it was excessively charged, and there is no reason that we should have to foot that bill. I totally understand we have a loan from the state. Yes, someone needs to oversee and make sure we're not overspending or embezzling or doing anything that we're not supposed to be doing, but I don't think that you need 4 days a week to do that. I mean, I myself, I do accounting, I do bookkeeping. You can't pour over that many, it's the same reports. I mean, we have a meeting once a month, we get the bill list. So someone just needs to make sure and verify that the things we're doing, which has time and time again been proven. We've been audited how many times? We had 2 outside auditors, plus the state monitor. I could go on and on, you all know, but I just wanted you to know those figures. I wanted that on public record. Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
Anybody else? Roll call.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes,
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion to move facilities.
Motion.
second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Whoa, wait 1
Did I
second.
go too fast? I'm sorry. Back to discussion.
Number 4, what is the alternative method of compliance?
It's regarding the toilets in and out of the classroom.
Yes. So for example, I'll give you an example, it'll help. So the preschool, we're supposed to, by code, they ask for us to have bathrooms in the classrooms. But they also allow for this alternate method of compliance, so that if you don't have them in the classrooms, that you could provide a plan for those bathrooms to be closely related to that classroom, for example, across the hallway. So what's your alternative plan? If they're not in the classroom, you're across the hallway with supervision from a paraprofessional. So that's basically what it is. It's an allowance to override a code that's in place that the state allows, but we have to submit what our allowances are every year.
Very good. You just answered number 5, too,
I'm sorry, say that again?
about bathroom facilities. I was going to ask in number 5, and you answered that.
Oh,
so-
okay, good.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Mr. Walsh,
Yes,
Mr. McCarron,
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera,
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas,
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella,
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
I need a motion to move programs.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
I had a question on item number 6, which is us approving the district mentoring plan. And I just noticed when I was reviewing the attachment of the plan that the district surveys the staff who participate. And I don't know that we ever watched a presentation on it, if it would even be something that we would know, but if there was any insight on like a global trend on how that program, since being instituted, has been a benefit, or if, you know what I'm saying? I was just curious, the feedback on it.
On the mentoring? Oh, well, yes, that's something that gets done every year, and we've had positive feedback on mentoring. So, I mean, are you?
I don't remember seeing a presentation. So
Oh, no,
that's
we
on
didn't
me.
do a presentation.
Okay.
There's no presentation on it, but we're happy to if you want us to.
No. I just wondered, it's positive, everybody's.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We have an incredible program. Two assistant superintendents over there oversee it. We have teacher leaders who help run and facilitate it. And we do workshops every month as it's relevant to those teachers. For example, conferences, right? So right before conference time, there'll be a workshop on how to hold effective conferences, those types of things. So we support the teachers throughout the year.
Great.
And the mentor teachers here who sign up are fabulous mentors.
Question about number 8. With those literacy grants, we're applying for them. When will we know whether we get them or not?
Dr. Godleski has been working tirelessly on those grants. Would you like to answer that?
It's a dramatic mic turn on. September 15th. It's a very quick turnaround. They were actually just released. They did technical assistance, and the due date is tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And we've been assured that we'll know by September 15th. And for many of these, the grant period is September through June of 2026. The coach one is 5 years, though.
5 years?
For the coach one. Yes.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that everybody saw item number 3, that awarded Shayna Brenner from Elms Elementary the second place for what she's done with the sustainability contest at Elms. So that was something that she brought in. It said second place was $1,000, or no, $1,500. So that's great. She's, has worked very hard there.
I'm glad you pointed that out. She has led a lot of our sustainability initiatives and is doing a fabulous job.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Mr. McCarron.
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera.
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas.
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella.
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion to move students.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion.
This is a numbers question. 1A, 2A, same school, different tuition?
I'm sorry, which motion are you on?
Okay,
Students 1A and 2A.
1A, 2A. Both of them are Neptune.
Sorry.
It's prorated? Okay. That answered my question. It's prorated.
Yes, okay, somebody answered it for you before.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You are good.
Roll call.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Mr. McCarron.
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera. Yes. Mrs. Barocas.
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella.
Yes.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion to move personnel.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Walsh.
Yes.
Mr. McCarron.
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera.
Yes.
Mrs. Barocas.
Yes.
Mrs. Gardella.
Abstain from 21, 2C. Yes, everything else.
Mrs. Cass.
Yes. I need a motion to open public forum on any topic pertaining to the Board of Education.
Motion.
Second.
Please sign in and state your name and whether or not you are a Jackson resident. Each person is allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to speak. No person may speak more than once on the topic until all others have been heard.
Okay, hello, and thank you all for being here and all that you do. I I had a few questions written down about the state monitor situation, and I wanted to know if the state explains why they have these new appointments, and also, do they come in up to speed, or is it once again a further burden on administration to bring the monitors up to speed? And then also, can we send out to New Jersey media or something these figures that you just stated? I can't even think of appropriate language to describe the figures you just shared. Anyway, so those are my questions about whether or not these monitors come in up to speed and what exactly it is that they do to justify those figures. But why I came today is because I'm very concerned about this new state testing that's going to be rolled out, this surprise announcement, or at least it was a surprise to me as a parent. I guess mainly because of our financial situation, I'm concerned about the technology portion, because it did state in the article I read that districts would be responsible for bringing their systems up to speed should they not be on par with this new technology. I also have a question about the training. When are our teachers going to be trained on the new tests? Also, how much time will be involved with that? How much time will our kids be away from learning in order to bring this new system of testing up to speed? And then also, the whole adaptive thing I find very confusing. I always thought standardized tests were going to just, they're norm-based and everybody gets the same thing. Depending on disabilities, there might be a different way of completing the test. But this adaptive thing that they're talking about seems really strange to me. If a student answers one way, then the next question's going to be applicable to however they answered. So I'm just wondering how adaptive state testing, how that works. And thank you all for your time and all your efforts. Sorry, that was Christine McGinley.
Anyone else? Seeing no one come forward, I need a motion to close public forum.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, Mrs. McKinley, we have some of those same questions about testing. We received information in a broadcast last week. It was a surprise to us. Obviously, you've seen the articles in the paper. It was a surprise to the educators that we were moving to this type of testing and that field testing was going to happen this fall and that full implementation would happen this spring. And so we are in the same boat as every other district, trying to figure it out, trying to get more information because there wasn't a lot of information. The team over here has been diligently trying to find out more. As far as technology goes, I think we'll be fine. We're pretty up to speed. I'd be surprised if we weren't, because if we aren't, then this state's really going to have major problems. As far as the adaptive testing, I'll make a comment and then I'll obviously turn it over to the two assistants. But adaptive testing has been happening forever. Since I was in the classroom, we did something called MAP testing, which was always adaptive testing. The next questions come at the same level. If they move on to a harder question and the student gets several of those wrongs, they'll bounce back to a lower level to truly get the instructional level of the student narrowed down a little bit more. So adaptive testing is not a bad thing, but it is, to your point, much different from how standardized testing has ever been done here in the state of New Jersey. So I would imagine it's going to take a long time to work through those kinks and really get some valid data. But the fact that such a major move and shift into how we're testing was not rolled out and educating the educators on it is shocking. So you have our commitment here that obviously we're trying to do everything we possibly can do to find out more information, and that we will roll this out in the smartest way we possibly can. But it's going to be very taxing on our district, on our testing coordinators. It's way short period, unbelievable. I mean, fall testing, and it was not rolled out the way that it perhaps should have been. So anything to add to that? I mean, I know we've been lamenting about it since it happened.
I think the only thing to add, I mean, things we've heard are not things that have been documented or shared with us from the Department of Ed, so they're not appropriate to share in any sort of forum because they're certainly not vetted and rumor at this point. But something we've discussed is, to make sure we're carefully looking at our local data pieces, because we put a lot of weight into data and making decisions and determining the efficacy of our programs and making instructional adjustments. So the fact that the test is changing and changing to an adaptive format and getting results that we won't be familiar with and can't be compared to the results of the prior year means we really have to rely on the data that we use. And that's something we're really proud of, is we have a lot of data points. We don't have singular ones. We triangulate everything. And I think that's really to our benefit when changes like this are made without any warning, really.
And just to support Mrs. Permilly's point, I've spoken with our technology department. The company that is going to be rolling out this testing is in many states and throughout the United States right now. And what we have, our infrastructure should be able to handle whatever it is that they have. So there shouldn't be any additional technology costs. Our kids are all still one-to-one with their Chromebooks. These assessments, I know, can be given on Chromebooks, so there shouldn't be any financial impact on us as far as implementing testing.
Thank you both. So in regards to the fiscal monitor appointments, it is within the Department of Ed's right to change fiscal monitors when they so choose, for whatever reasons that they may have. They shift people around and move people accordingly. It does put a burden on us. We have to bring them up to speed. I mean, they are, in some cases, they do speak to the prior fiscal monitor, but it takes a toll on our offices, specifically Mr. Baginski's office this last time. Really had to answer a lot of questions. A lot of that staff was pulled offline to address questions, get documents, and things like that. So yeah, it's a burden on us every time it switches. So we do the best we can, obviously, and to Mrs. Cass's point, we have not had anybody find anything that's wrong with what we're doing here. It's truly a revenue issue.
And if you ever speak to a local politician, Alex Zwicky did put a bill forward that the school district did support last spring that had the state of New Jersey paying for the salaries of state monitors for districts where there was determination that there was no fiscal mismanagement.
I mean, in addition to not having fiscal mismanagement, we're obviously in a situation where we need to borrow money from the state, and now you're making us pay additional fees, which are exorbitant fees, when again, I gave you a teacher's salary, it affects our curriculum, it affects our programs, it affects a lot of things that our lunch balance could have been paid, more, that was more, both of those salaries were more, so it's disturbing on many levels. Anyone else? We'll do board comments. We'll start down that way.
As an old teacher, there's an old saying, and the state pushes it like anything: monitor and adjust, monitor and adjust, monitor and adjust. We'll adjust. Just like the kids will adjust, the teachers will adjust, and we'll be all right. Have a good night.
Just want to say thank you for coming, and everybody watching at home. Appreciate the admin again with everything that you've been doing. I'm excited to see the school year start. I know football's starting soon, another week. So anxious to see the teams get out there and see what they could do.
I want to thank everyone for coming out this evening, viewing us on live stream, the presentations and comments. Thank you for all of the staff for your hard work, flexibility, and dedication to our district. Everyone have a wonderful and safe rest of summer. Have a wonderful evening.
So first, I wanted to thank our staff and everyone working really hard to get our schools ready for the beginning of the year. Really looking forward to it, hearing some really positive stories coming out, so it really makes me excited. We also started the official start to our fall sports, started this past Monday. I'm looking forward to attending games as I usually do throughout the season, so good luck to our student athletes and their coaches. And for those of you that are following local politics, or maybe not, my seat and Mrs. Gardella's seat is up, and we are going to be running for our seats again. So we are looking forward to hopefully serving you for the next 3 years again. And thank you to everyone who came out, and have a good night.
I just wanted to say, as the community is aware, the board filed a lawsuit against the state in regards to the school funding formula. The state recently made a motion to move the hearing of the case from Ocean County to Mercer County, which is where Trenton is located within that county. The judge who heard the motion in Toms River determined that our case will remain to be heard in Ocean County. And we see this as a positive result as we move forward, and we wanted to share that.
I just want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank, obviously, our staff and our administration for getting everything ready. I know you guys have worked extremely hard, in addition to a new monitor that came and went. So it's just been, just compounded. But so with that, and I just want to wish our students, you go back to school in 2 weeks. So I think that's great. I think they're all looking forward to it. And just want to wish everyone a great year. Thank you. Have a good night. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
By acclamation.
Aye.
Aye.